Let's see, I think I'm live. So, hey, I was going to talk about these crazy Google lines. Basically, to maybe hear what other people think about them and record them and get them on video and where they're all at in case anyone is able to, ever transfer them onto the proper map, not the Google ball. I personally don't have time to do anything like that, or even the know-how or resources to begin. So, hey, everybody that joined, thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, these crazy lines. So, I refer to them as kind of the circuit board, and I think some of them might be structures. Other people think they're man-made, not just one person. I've had a few people say, and what I see is how the luminaries are very much in line and in sync with these things. I see grids. I don't know if this is man-made or, God-made, angel-made. I don't know. I have suspicions because of learning all the different subjects that we learned. That these are definitely placed and they follow all of the events that happen. So, yeah. So, yeah, really, I just want to get them documented. And where they sit. When anyone that does ever transfer them, you just got to remember to go by the land masses where these lines sit. That's how I straighten them out. I just look for the exact little land masses and, pull them out. Look up here and make sure it's all lined up. No matter what map you use. I mean, this stuff looks insane, but it's there. What do you guys all think about it? All these crazy, insane connecting lines and luminaries match up. What do you guys think about that? Just curious. Yeah, I don't think it's coincidence either. So, well, hi Wills and hi Lev and been taking pics. P900, Chris. But yeah, you know, all these things do fall right in our earth energy spots, leading up to, you know, chakra areas. All the work that FPV did with the chakras and the energy lines with the sun movement, you know, these things in a macro sense actually bulge up and kind of follow those lines as well. When you look at the big mass groups of this energy, you know, here I can almost see the waves, but yeah, there is so much going on the underside. You see, I put tons of suns and moons. You know, a lot of these are daily, and others I jump around in years. Part of that's also to kind of show that a lot of people say that the planets and moon stuff isn't in its proper path, but it truly is. If you can go all the way back to like 1950s and then back to the 20s, which some of these are, some of them are, some of them are not, and they're still following the same path, that tells me that they're always going to do what they're programmed to do. They're not off. A lot of complex grids and circuit boards, pipelines, structures from the past that sank. You know, this is a center of our map right here. It's just not a coincidence either that the center of the map, you know, looks like this. And that's right about where our center is. So, yep. This information is free. Anyone that can get a grip on these lines and put it on a flat map, that would be awesome. Just awesome. There's no way. I wouldn't have the time or the resources to do it. These things kind of, I feel crazy like when I outline them, but they're not. I mean, I'm not making up the lines. But yeah, you can still see the waves. Just the way it looks on the Mimic map, the one FPV used with the double helix. Just amazing. You can see these luminaries following it, traveling through the different grids of the underworld, and we see them as luminaries in the sky. So yeah, anybody that has any ideas besides what I, you know, put out as theories and what we put out as theories, You know, feel free to take the lines, put them on whatever map you want. If you can make it work, hey, then show everyone. But to me, it's not a contest of any sorts. I just want the truth, and the truth is that there is a whole lot of stuff under the, the ocean floor. North Pole. Let's see. There's a big split down the North Pole. Makes me think, and then oops. Lake North Pole. But yeah, there's this big crack up at the North Pole. So there's a whole lot cut out up here. There's quite a few thousand miles between the land that we see and where the northern gate is on our map. But looking at these lines, there's definitely a spot right here in the center that this big crack seems to stem from. This is one of they say tectonic plates, and it spans all the way up and around this globe. But this globe has got a lot missing as far as land. And that could take us into some speculation. This big crack, it's total speculation, but when in scriptures it says that God opened the deep, the abyss, and, let the waters rain down on us. What if it came from underneath and not above? I mean, honestly, it's just a thought, but I don't know. But yeah, take take the lines, and I started going onto the land a bit. See, there's a big basin over Africa. But if you guys, put these on a flat map, it make a lot more sense. We're missing a lot of land on this thing. So yeah, let me know what you think. I didn't know Tesla said that. But yeah. I'd love to see someone get the all, even a little bit of these lines put on a flat map to show. I love the way they kind of, follow the waves, the waves we see on the mimic map, the helix and the double helix. I mean, to me, that looks like a system of some kind of levels, different layers. Yeah, Liv, it can, because that's Google Maps, but it's not interactive. Like this one, you can't draw lines on it. So I think it would literally take someone, at least cutting out, I don't know, I'm not technologically well off enough to, you know, figure out really how to do it. But what, cut and paste all the lines? I don't know. I don't know if someone could just take off a section and replace it over. Hey, Mel. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to go about taking all of this detail and putting it onto the flat map. I mean, I really wouldn't. So many different coil systems and yeah, it's definitely a crazy network going on. The moon falls in it constantly over and over. Mind you, I don't have every single line, but when the moon continuously falls right in these little bitty tiny areas, that can't be coincidence. I'm not really a believer in coincidence. And with the bigger ones, if you can kind of see how this topography kind of almost cracks. So that's what I was saying in my shorter video, that rivers, seem to definitely have a lot to do with this. So then the question comes up, are the rivers producing this energy as it flows, or are the rivers coming up from below because of the constant flow of energy on the land? Look at all the different weird underwater finds that they found, and a lot of those areas will surprise you as well. They're very close. We have different basins. You can see all the stuff coming this way. From that area, I would definitely say that that's the lava, the waste basin, probably part of that recycle system, just because this entire area is volcanic. This entire coastline is volcanic. We have a small break in here a bit, but basically almost all of South America's coastline is all volcanoes. Look how busy it is. It's expelling a lot of waste from all this stuff going on. Since all airplane flights are shown curved, arced on a globe Earth, I'm thinking the ley lines are actually curved or arced on a flat Earth. Well, I think they definitely come up and down. I think that's how the luminaries are traveling. So see this, for instance. It's definitely coming up. I mean, it's definitely, you know, 3D-ish. It's definitely arced. That's a good word. Or curved. I mean, we're going up and down, up and down. So let me find these guys. So these are different, planets, and were aligned. They were in opposition, Jupiter and Saturn, and this goes back to 1940 for these two sets, and this one is the year 2000. And if you can see, because then Jupiter will kind of do this in its path. So you can see from August 15th, 1940 to October 11th, 1940, Jupiter moved from here to here. And that's how it travels. It does this. So these guys are, using this grid and coming back for epicycles. And I can't point out their exact paths unless I went through and put a pin for every single day ever for the last 100 years and futuristic 100 years, and then absolutely, yeah, Jupiter zigzags. It does. It goes like this and down and up and down and up and down and down and up and down and backwards, and that's how it travels. On my channel, I think I have the year's worth of Jupiter, where I took the globe here and penned a whole year's worth, and I did one for every week. And then I went through and put the pins in place, and we watched it do this. And then it jumped down and it came back. And that was about a year's worth. And it was actually over by India. So it was, no, I'm sorry, Jupiter. Jupiter was here. It was actually over Africa. But, and I correlated that with P900 Sandra. She, from up here, was taking the coordinates of it every single day, and I was pinning it every week, and they were right in the same spots. So yeah, it kind of does a crazy up and down zigzag motion. See if I can find Jupiter. I have the pins. It's just a matter of finding it and all the crazy pins I have. Yeah, I will show you if I can find it. There we go. Right, so Jupiter will show up. So it'll come in, seeming more normal, and it'll hit something that causes it to go crazy. Nothing's on here. Real fast. But hey, FSE. Oops, that was Mercury. So yeah, so there's Jupiter. Sandra's lucky she's making chili. So yeah, and it kind of just kind of goes, it kind of goes all over the place. It came in good and smooth, so, but it goes crazy, and it hung around that area and did epicycles all year long. Yeah, and they all follow it. They all follow these right around the equator. Got the sun all the way back to 1921. I've got the sun here at 1954. Here's 2006, the sun. Look at the months. They're all in the fall time. It's in the same place. Nothing's off. Nothing's wrong. Got the moon. The moon moves 15.5 degrees per day. So we do have different years. These are lunar eclipses with the green lines. Just a green pin is just the moon. Yeah, they're all just following. Oh, there's a moon. Try to keep them all the same color so I know what I'm looking at. Another one of those Saturn Jupiters. So, and Saturn does the same thing. Saturn was the one that was over by India. So Saturn, for a year, jumped around up here. It zigzagged all up and down, all over. And it stayed right here. So it was almost like I was saying, it was just following these paths. I don't have this all worked in, but all this push up and energy would be from something happening. I mean, I know that it's earthquakes and stuff like that, but like we've told in our ideas, earthquakes are caused from what's going on below. When technology's kicking on or switching, it definitely speeds up and gets stronger. But other than that, we have a steady flow. And the steady flow, when you follow earthquakes, the ones that happen daily, all the time on a regular basis, are right here in this area. I've put so many dots from earthquakes, looking at them every day and every week. There's a steady flow. So I always like to call it the Earth's binary code because it's usually like zeros and ones. So, yep. So I guess that's about it, you know. I would love to see someone put this stuff on a flat map. I would love to see it on our map, but you know, not everyone is with those ideas. Not everyone agrees. So it'd still be nice to see it, have it done. It'd be awesome. But I don't have the resources, or really, I don't know where to begin. Hello, blood. Yeah, I know stuff. That's what we need. Someone from New Zealand or Fiji that would be willing to get on a boat and head east. Or Hawaii. Someone from Hawaii. But that would be quite a distance. I mean, you're talking thousands of miles to go west. Yeah, I don't have a boat. I'd go on a boat. I'd do it, but I don't have a boat. So east would be the best way. Here's Fiji. The gates are not very far off from Fiji. Yeah. New Zealand. No, the gates really aren't very far off from New Zealand. Not very far at all. It wouldn't take but you know, probably less than 3,000 miles to hit the east gates. But the lines, yeah. These are for anybody that wants them, take them, use them, put them on a map. Try to, you know. But FPV has the basics of those with the Nazca lines when he put those on the map. Shoot, that's what gave me the idea anyway, was that these things must show up. They must be in our topography if they're real and they're really the blueprints. And then I started finding them, except these are way more detailed than what the Nazca lines are. Like I said in the start, some people think this stuff's man-made. And that could be. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. It seems awfully complex. But, you know, you never know. Some people might even think it's aliens. I don't, but, you know, people are entitled to their own beliefs. All I want to do is point out the fact that it's here. And we're freaking lied to about everything, you know. The moon falling into these areas is interesting to me. It looks like it's traveling using it. You know, it lines up in several areas, and the moon falls in these in several areas. And where it doesn't, I mean, well, you can see there are more lines. I just haven't added them. These thinner lines, a lot of these are lines and lines of volcanoes that are on the ocean floor carrying this. Hi, Baron. So, yeah, that's about all I have. Was just kind of curious to see what people thought. You know, like I said, I feel kind of crazy sometimes. You know, outlining all this stuff. All these are eclipses, lunar eclipses, the green lines. Just happen to be right in the path of either Ketu or Rahu at the same time. Not saying for sure that they eclipse it, but you know, they're definitely lined up with it. So whatever's going on, I would theorize that possibly it has something to do with them. Got lunar eclipses, or I'm sorry, solar eclipses are in yellow. It's always in alignment with a new moon. Which eclipse? I have them dated, so we could see. If it's a yellow line, it's a solar eclipse. The moon was in a new moon phase always. And if it's a green line, it's a lunar eclipse. So we have 4/20/13, we have 10/8/14, we have 10/18/13, we have 10/28/04. So see, I wouldn't go south at all stuff. You know, it'd be way too far and you'd never make it. It's all guarded down there and stuff, probably is what I hear. I've never been there. I don't plan on going. But anybody that does want to go, yeah, don't eat the penguins. I think it's illegal. Bring a couple sweaters. But I would not head south at all. I would go, well, I wouldn't go anywhere. I'm in the middle of the freaking United States. I'm furthest away from all of these places. But if I could get anything together, or if I could ever make it, I would go to Fiji or New Zealand and start from there and head east. But for me, that would be unrealistic because I'm clear of the hell over here in the United States. So, in the middle, even right there. So, all of those are far away. Blood, it seems to be both, and I'm wondering if they're just not, you know, mirrors of each other. Because when I showed both of them put in their places, they were on exact opposite sides, and their paths were exactly mirrored. Hello, de jour. So what I was thinking was that they were mirrors, kind of the way FPV, I don't know where the footage came from, but the footage of the moon he has where it's mirrored from Australia as it is in England. That's what I'm thinking Rahu and Ketu are. And I mean, for all we know, Rahu and Ketu could be just the, you know, the new moon when it goes black. You know, they say Rahu's the black sun. But yeah, so we have all these eclipses. Every solar eclipse that I've looked up so far over the years is in alignment with a new moon. So the new moon is crossing the sun. Yeah, go north and then north some more. It'd still be probably 10,000 or more miles for me. I mean, it would be insane. You've seen that. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So then it'd be a different entity, but Rahu and Ketu still could be one. Or, I mean, it could be two, but I am really wondering if it's just not a mirrored effect that one side of the equator sees it one way and the other side sees it the other way. But I'm just theorizing, can't go up and see this stuff. That's awesome. I remember seeing your footage. It was great footage. So yeah, my bot just um sorry about that, Jamie. I don't know why. Oh, I think it's all capitals. It's just stupid AI. The bot's an AI. A primitive AI even. But yeah, um, here we have another solar eclipse. Again, the moon was in the new moon phase. Perfectly round dark disk. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would really like to speculate. It's all speculation, but that it's Rahu Ketu. I mean, I want, call it whichever one you want. Rahu is always lined up very, very perfectly to get an eclipse. They're exactly, you know, exactly perfect. So if that's what it is, it's all kind of marked here. Like I said, every green line is an eclipse, and we saw it that way because you can go to the eclipse pages and look at the different paths that we see it, and these are all lined up with it. It's exactly how we saw it. So yeah, Jupiter in 2000 was here, which is interesting. And 2017 it was over here, because that's when I did this year's worth. And they say it takes a whole lot longer, don't they, to travel? But it made it halfway across the world in not that long. Yeah. Yeah, it does make sense to throw us off. They lie to us on all levels. Twice the size of the moon. That's crazy. So I wonder if it's trackable, without eclipsing, if we knew where it was. Because to know where it was, I use a thing called astrolight, and I get the coordinates of these things and I enter them into the Google Sky, click it over and see where they're at, and then you can correlate that with your own cameras and stuff. And maybe with these amazing, P1000s and stuff, footage could be obtained of these, the Rahu Ketu luminaries, darknaries. I mean, they don't illuminate. They seem to take out the light, they void it, shadow it. Well, one of the old ancient texts about Rahu says that they cut off Rahu's head. The other gods cut off Rahu's head, and so he's been spending the rest of the eternity chasing down the moon. And every time he catches up to it, the head swallows the moon, and then it comes back out the severed neck. I forget what religion that one was, but it's an old story. So a lot of those old stories are what made me lead to even look at Rahu, or Ketu having anything to do with the eclipses. And then come to find out they do. Here's some more. The moon, and I quit marking Rahu or Ketu because that's when I just decided that possibly they could be the same thing. Just, yeah, all those ancient stories and texts are really interesting. I always go to a site called sacredtext.com. That's actually, that story is in there somewhere. I've read so many I can't recall which religion it was from. So yeah, and then we can see the waves, especially if the big bunches, following the waves as we see them on the mimic map, the double helix that FPV showed. This is almost in alignment with it. And I know we're looking at a globe, but I can see it on the flat map. But I've looked at these for a long time. So yeah, anybody that can, has any resources or time to transfer these, feel free to take them. I can send them out, or you can just get them off the video. That was kind of the point, was to find out what everybody else thought and make sure the information gets out there. So that's about it. I think I'm going to wrap it up. But I want to thank everybody for joining me. Thanks, Blood and Stuff, Baron, Kathleen, Jamie. Sorry my bot timed you out. Lev, DeJour, Chris Hayes, P900 Sandra, Will, and anybody else that was here. Mel, sorry. But yeah, it was good stuff. Glad I got to share, and if you guys can use the information, have it. It's free. No copyright strikes will come from this way. So, all right, have a good day. Thanks.